The movie opens with Shane waking up in the middle of a battlefield. He doesn't remember how he got there, and he has a chip on the back of his neck. Suddenly, a war robot named Mech 4 starts shooting at Shane, and he runs into a cover. The robot continues shooting his way and starts breaking off his cover. Shane doesn't have anywhere to run away, but just before the robot shoots him, another soldier named Piper blows up the robot using a grenade launcher. She helps Shane get up and asks him if he remembers anything. He tells her no and asks her if she knows where they are and why they have a chip on their neck. Piper is also in the dark about that, even though she has been surviving for a day. He is also the first alive person she met, as most people were dead when she arrived. In another area, another male soldier is dropped from a plane. He is the only one that survived the drop, and he starts making his way to a storage room. In there, he finds a gun, but he then sees a headless humanoid robot looking for its head. The guy stays silent and gathers his materials. He then runs into another female soldier, and she gives him more info. She tells him soldiers are getting dropped every day and that they are fighting giant robots. She tells him most people don't make it alive past the first day and proposes they work together. The guy agrees, but as soon as he turns his back, she stabs him on the neck and kills him. She then steals his supplies and dips. Back to Shane and Piper, we see them gather as much supplies as they can. They see a lot of people getting dropped, but only one person that was conscious and using his parachute, so they decide to get to him and team up. Brock, the guy Shane and Piper saw, lands in the middle of the street and he is immediately attacked by a Mech 4. He runs behind a car for a cover, but the robot starts making its way to him. Brock then pulls out a machete from his bag and tries to attack the robot that does 0 damage. The robot then aims its gun at Brock, but before it can shoot, another soldier named Madison shoots it with an MP gun which shuts it down temporarily. Her and Brock then run away and make it to a safe space. She gives him basic information about what he has in his disposal and tells him to ration his meal and bullets. She then tells him good luck and walks away, but Brock follows her and tells her they should team up so they can defend from the robots. Madison tells him after seeing him trying to attack a robot with a machete, she doesn't have high confidence about his intelligence and refuses to work with him. Madison is going in one direction so she can find an exit, but 10 miles from the center, she finds an invisible barrier. She realizes there is no way out, and after some nagging, she allows Brock to work with her and find the exit together. Back to Shane and Piper, we see them explore the main area. They find a building with a sign reading "No Humans" and they decide to explore it. They split up and Shane enters through the main door while Piper goes to the back. Shane looks around the room and finds a cabinet filled with canned food. Excited, he looks grabbing everything he can, but he gets ambushed by the woman that killed the second guy. She points her gun at him and orders him to give her all his supplies. Shane tries to reason with her and asks her to join him, but she isn't interested. She gets ready to shoot him, but before she can, Piper shoots her from the back and kills her. Suddenly, a man's voice is heard coming from the speakers around the war zone. General Dix, who is running this program, reveals that all the soldiers are test subjects, testing the new weapons for the US government. He then reveals to them that they all volunteered to join this test and wishes them luck on their survival. None of them remember signing up to fight robots, but none of them remember anything from before they came here. Later that night, Shane and Piper set up camp and try to rest for the night, but they get spotted by spider robots and quickly get surrounded. They take out some of them, and Shane makes it into a safe room, but Piper gets caught by the robots. Shane is out of bullets and can't help her, but Madison and Brock get there just in time and take out the robots. The two teams introduce themselves and agree to team up. They are all running out of bullets and food, so they decide to further explore. On their way, they find a lone soldier named Blake, and they also add him to the team. He also tells them that he has seen a storage facility on his way, so they agree to rest the night and go there early morning. In the control room, robot engineer Peterson informs General Dix that some robots have started deviating from their programming and started acting on their own. Peterson is very concerned about this, but Dix isn't unfazed. In fact, he is actually happy the robots are evolving and believes this is the best way to move forward. The next morning, while the team is trying to go to the supply building, they get attacked by the Mech 4 robots. Everyone disperses and shoots back at the robots from different angles, which lets them win the battle. Meanwhile, the situation in the command center is getting tense. Most of the robots have now become independent, and Peterson tells Dix that they should abort the test. But this idea just makes Dix angry, and he gets Peterson thrown out into the battlefield with no weapons to fight against the robots. The team make it to the center of the battlefield. They decide to split up, and Piper and Brock start making their way to the control tower, while Shane goes with Madison and Blake to the storage facility. Blake leads them to a warehouse filled with robots. All of them seem disabled, but Shane is still cautious. They find supplies and gather everything. They then find a computer, and when Madison opens it, an advertisement video for Mech Wood, the ad depicts humans getting help from the new robots called Mech 4s. It is revealed that the robots were built to help people and be a peaceful companion, but clearly that plan has been changed. Madison then finds the recording of their interview. It is revealed that all of the soldiers joined this testing because they thought they were joining an elite military exercise. They were lied to, which is why their memory was erased. Just before they could go through everyone's files, Blake touches a button that sounds the alarm and awakens the Mach 4s. Meanwhile, Brock and Piper go to a building close to the control tower. Brock then notices fresh bloodstains, and when he follows it, he finds an injured Peterson lying on the floor. Seeing that he doesn't have the chip, Brock and Piper are immediately suspicious of Peterson, and they point their gun at him. Peterson then tells them what Dix is doing and reveals that he is one of the engineers that built the robots. He then tells them he can help them get out of this place, so Brock and Piper agree to not kill him. As they return, they run into Madison and Shane, who are running away from the robots. Peterson then recognizes Blake and reveals that he is a robot. Blake then tries to run away, but they all corner him. They are then quickly surrounded by the spider robots. Blake then takes out a device that can activate the chips on them and electrocute them, and he presses it. Everyone then falls to the ground except Peterson. Blake then overpowers him and tries to kill him, but Peterson manages to grab a knife and stab Blake in the eye, which shuts him down. Peterson then wakes everyone up, and they fight off the spider robots successfully. They then go to a safe house, and Peterson removes everyone's chip. He also tells them that the robots have been learning from each other and making their own decisions, which makes them much more dangerous. They ask him if there is a way to shut them down, and Peterson reveals that there is a kill switch hidden in an underground facility. He tells them about a project named Titan, which is where the robot project began. He tells them if they can get him there, he can grab the kill switch and will be able to use it once they leave the barriers. The next morning, the team start making their way to the specified location, but on their way, they get ambushed by Mech 4s. They manage to hide in another building and wait out the robot's Piper, then goes out to check. But there was a robot that was lurking, and it unloads its bullet on her and kills her. The robots then start shooting at the building, so the team is forced to run out of the back. The robots then continue to shoot at the building, which lets the team escape and reach the main building. Peterson opens a hatch that leads to an underground bunker. They all go down the ladders and find a room with the Titan. Peterson explains that the Titan is a human-controlled robot suit and activates it. Brock refuses to enter the Titan, so Shane gets in. Madison and Brock pick up new weapons and get ready for combat. Meanwhile, in the control room, General Dix is informed about the activation of the Titan. He then quickly orders that the X-22 be released. The engineer tells him that the X-22 has not been tested and could be dangerous to everyone, but Dix threatens to throw him outside, so he activates the giant robot. Brock, Shane and Madison are fighting off the spider robots, while Peterson stays in the bunker and looks for the kill switch. Using the Titan, Shane is able to easily destroy the spider robots. At the same time, the giant X-22 robot comes out of an underground facility and faces the team. Madison takes out her gun and tries to shoot him first, but that doesn't affect it at all, and he burns her to a crisp using its fire gun. Shane and Brock split up and try to shoot him from two angles, but the X-22's armor is too strong for any of their bullets. In the control room, we see Dix laughing maniacally when he sees the death of Madison. He is informed that the X-22 is operating on his own, but he is not concerned at all. Back on the battlefield, Shane and Brock are continuing their unsuccessful attacks. They are running out of ammo, and to make matters worse, all the Mech 4s are surrounding them. All hope seems to be lost as they have nowhere to run, but instead of shooting them all, the Mech 4s start shooting at X-22. They see him as a bigger threat, and this shootout gives enough distraction for Shane and Brock to escape the situation. Peterson meets them with a truck and tells them to get in. They then start driving to the border. Peterson has found the kill switch, and he uses it to disable the barrier and escape out of the war zone. Meanwhile, every computer in the control room gets corrupted as they lose control of all the robots. All the cameras are also taken out, and Dix realizes he is losing. He then shoots and kills the other engineer for no reason. One security feed then comes from the screen. On the feed, Dix sees the X-22 approach the camera and point its rocket launcher on it. Dix immediately realizes the X-22 is pointing the launcher and accepts his fate. The X-22 then shoots his rocket launcher, which destroys the whole control room and kills Dix in the process. Moments later, Peterson presses the self-destruct button on the kill switch, which destroys all the robots, including the X-22. The guys are all free now, and the movie ends as they all drive away.